Hello again, it's Cloudy Warrior here, back with another video about Spiralclan. This is year 2, a baby boom brought on by 7 sudden queens. This year the clan grew well, and the year ended with them thriving due to a series of adoptees to the group. Let's begin with the she-cats who gave it all for this to happen. Fringe was a loner who died off screen when Inkpuddle and Scorchheart found their kit. She was noted to be glad that her kit was safe. Locust was found by Houndhusk already dead after kidding, her newborns trying to need milk from her cold body. Fern was a kitty pet who was killed outside her home. She's found in ghost residence and left her kit abandoned after her death. Stag Kit was thankfully yet again found by Inkpuddle and Scorchheart. I've tried to be a little more aware of the genetics of the cats and the carrying on of traits from parent to child, but Clan Gen doesn't really actually follow cat genetics very well. Like Fringe here, she's got blue eyes, but normally cats can't have blue eyes unless they have some kind of white on them, but I go off the designs I've been given, I suppose. Birdstar continued to lead Spiralclan, deftly managing to find mentors for the 3 newest apprentices despite the lack of warriors. He took on Ermine Paw as an apprentice, and took over Petunia Paw's mentorship when Sharpbellow moved into the nursery. After the 2 apprentices graduated, Birdstar developed White Cough. As time went on, the sickness wouldn't leave and it progressed to Yellow Cough. After 5 moons from the onset of the sickness, it finally took hold of Birdstar's first life. Primrose Fox encouraged Houndhusk to take on an apprentice this year. In fact, he seemed to make the decision for Houndhusk, noticing one of his former apprentice's kits, Shine Kit, having a high penchant for herbs. He's grown apart from Inkpuddle and instead find comfort and security in Houndhusk and his good friend Bitternpuddle. Inkpuddle became a source of insight and stories for Petunia Paw in particular, and ultimately becomes much better with the younger cats in her aging years. Just as well as she ends up joining Scorchheart and Sharpbellow in the nursery all year, wrangling kits. She becomes closer to Greyrip during this time and has grown to consider him as her closest friend aside from Scorchheart. As the year went on and the clan grew, Greyrip found himself frequently needing to mediate the disputes of the clan. While his efforts with the clan were successful, he was not as successful in mediating between Spiralclan and TreeClan, and only seems to have made their relations worse. Throughout the moons, he realised how beautiful he finds Inkpuddle, and he draws much comfort from her. It's a shame that she won't feel the same way about him. When Bitternpuddle's kits became apprenticed, he took on Hot Paw. The mentor and apprentice relationship between Bitternpuddle was strained, and the 2 relationships worsened over the 6-moon period. Greyrip stepped in to mediate the 2 often. Bitternpuddle felt that, given his parentage, he could not afford to be lenient on his son, whereas Hot Paw might have benefited from a kinder touch. It did not help that with the clan in sore need of warriors, he took on Howlpaw as a second apprentice at the same time. Perhaps Hotpaw saw a difference in Bitternpuddle's treatment of the cat, whom was not his son. He was especially enamoured with Sharpbellow's ability as a mother, and often brought her choice prey to keep up her milk supplies. His crush would remain unpursued, however. He was far too good a friend to Houndhusk to consider coming between the 2 mates. He spends much of his free time with Primrose Fox, the two being the closest of friends. He is currently mentoring Cinnamon Paw and has been doing so for the last moon. Absolutely nobody is surprised when Houndhusk announces that he and Sharpbellow have officially become mates. In the same moon, he trapped his hind paw in a two-leg trap, and while he escaped, his leg is left mangled. As infection crept in, he and Sharpbellow worry about never being able to start a family if his leg does not heal. Sharpbellow's love and devotion must have given him the strength to pull through, as when his infection begins to cease, Sharpbellow tells him that she is expecting his kits. After 4 moons, his leg is healed, but it is left horribly scarred. He and Primrose Fox discuss taking on an apprentice now that the clan is getting bigger. Houndhusk was not much of help during the healing of his injury, and having a third set of paws might be necessary. He took on Shinepaw, his own son, as an apprentice, since Primrose Fox assured him that the young cat's interest in herbs would prove a good starting point. Just as Sharpbellow predicted, the two became mates the very next moon. Everything is looking up for Sharpbellow as she also becomes the mentor of Petuniapaw. While the two like each other well enough, she does not stay his mentor for long as she discovers she's expecting Houndhusk's kits. While pregnant, a new apprentice, Howlpaw, asks her questions about her pregnancy a lot. The details he goes into and wants to know makes her incredibly uncomfortable, and so she begins to avoid the young Tom. She hoped she would have a small litter, as she felt overwhelmed by the idea of a large one. She gave birth to 4 kits: Shine Kit, Rabbit Kit, Petal Kit, and Honey Kit. Unfortunately for her wishes, she ends up helping to raise a total of 8 kittens in her time in the nursery, with many kits being found and brought to the clan, and Sharpbellow being the only milk-producing she-cat. Scorchheart acted as a great helper to Sharpbellow as she went through her journey into motherhood. This became deeper when she and Inkpuddle found themselves living as queens for the majority of the year. 5 moons into the year, the pair found and adopted Cinnamon Kit. Almost as soon as they finished raising him, they found yet another abandoned kit. With poor Sharpbellow being the only suckling queen, nursing a rotation of 8 kits during her time in the nursery, Scorchheart, with her mate Inkpuddle by her side, did quite their fair share of kit sitting and raising. In this year's first moon, Ermine Kit and his brothers were made apprentices. Ermine Paw was taken on by Birdstar himself as the firstborn of his deputy. He matured very quickly when given the opportunity to begin serving his clan, and could be seen taking his apprentice ceremony very seriously, his excitedness given away only by the twitching of his tail. In his second moon of his apprenticeship, he and Birdstar found Howlkit abandoned, and took him home to join the clan. He proved himself highly capable throughout his apprenticeship, and confesses even to thinking he's been given dreams from Spiralclan. This gift had not appeared to leave him as an adult, as he retains a trait of clairvoyance. He was the first to graduate a moon before his littermates and was honoured by Birdstar due to his endurance. His early graduation, though some may say, was to lower Birdstar's workload, as the leader took on Petuniapaw as a second apprentice when Sharpbellow moved to the nursery, was really due to his intelligence and thoughtfulness. He would often impress the elders with answers to questions with an understanding well beyond his years. He earned the name of Ermine Stone and learned from Birdstar to be quick in decision-making, bend the rules, and to be friendly toward others. His close apprenticeship with Petuniapaw under the same tutelage brought the two brothers close together. Later that year, Ermine Stone ran into a fox while on patrol who mangled his tail. Luckily, he did not retain any scarring. At the end of the year, he took on his first apprentice, Rabbitpaw. Petuniapaw was given his apprentice name alongside his brothers at the beginning of year 2, and was apprenticed to Sharpbellow. Throughout his apprenticeship, he spent much of his time caring for Inkpuddle and Scorchheart and listened well to their insight. They influenced his cleverness, and he finds it unfair that he is often overlooked in favour of his brother Ermine Stone. While Ermine Stone loves his brother, he is unaware of Petuniapaw's jealousy for him, and Petuniapaw wonders if he would have graduated earlier if he was apprenticed to Birdstar instead of Sharpbellow, who neglected his training for 2 moons before Birdstar officially took over his apprenticeship while she tended to her new litter. He became a warrior alongside his brother Hotpaw, and received his warrior name of Petunia Thunder and is honoured for his dignity. Both his mentors prepared Petunia Thunder to be an excellent teacher. While Sharpbellow originally influenced Petunia Thunder to be relatively antisocial and have trouble adapting, his apprenticeship to Birdstar negated this, as the leader encouraged Petunia Thunder to step outside of his comfort zone and break the rules that needed to be broken. In a particularly cold leaf bear season, Petunia Thunder risked his life while on patrol with Hopswipe to save his brother from succumbing to the cold. He curled his body around his brother's and suffered intense frostbite. The marks of this are still evident on his front paw and ears. His righteousness in looking after his family will always be his defining trait. Hopkit became Hoppaw at the beginning of the year with his brothers. He was taken on by Bittern Puddle as an apprentice. This ultimately was not the best pairing. That became worse when Bittern Puddle took on Howlpaw as a second apprentice alongside his first. Greyrip had to step in to mediate between father and son, and through this, Hoppaw learned that Bittern Puddle really did want him to become the best warrior he could be. Still, the difference between how he treated him and Howlpaw kept a small rift between the two. When he was named Hopswipe as a warrior, he was honoured for his perspective. Bittern Puddle influenced him to be bickersome, follow the status quo, and have trouble adapting and to defend his beliefs. This has ultimately built him to be a strict teacher towards others as well as to himself. While on patrol in Leaf Bear, he almost died due to the cold after having fallen into a drift. He woke to find his brother Petunia Thunder curled around him and forever feels guilty at putting his brother in danger, especially since he has no scars to mark this story by. At the end of the year, he became mentor to Honeypaw. Unfortunately, on their first patrol together, he fell and sprained his paw on a branch. Howlkit was found by Ermine Paw at the border at 4 moons of age. He had no family to speak of, so Ermine Paw and Birdstar took him back to the clan. As a kit, he often volunteered to help with apprentice duties, which Inkpuddle in particular respected. However, when he became an apprentice and was given to Bittern Puddle to mentor, he was very interested in Sharpbellow's pregnancy, asking all sorts of questions about it. Scorchheart told him he was being incredibly rude with his nosiness after Sharpbellow confided in her. This rebuke caused Howlpaw to withdraw socially. He became reserved and is unable to make any close friends. During his apprenticeship, Bittern Puddle influenced him to have trouble adapting and to use teeth and claw over words. However, he also taught him to become better at caring for the camp, and so he would often fix things. When he graduated and was named Howlbillow, he was honoured by Birdstar for his determination. He now mentors Petalpaw. Cinnamon Paw is adventurous and an avid playfighter, currently being mentored by Bittern Puddle. He was found as a kit after his mother Fringe was killed by Scorchheart and Inkpuddle. The wishes for kits that Inkpuddle always wanted began to be fulfilled when the two decided to adopt him. He was obviously suckled by Sharpbellow, being the only queen with milk, but was raised by the 2 elderly she-cats. His mother watched him from afar, being glad that her kit was safe. Before becoming an apprentice, Birdstar took him out of camp to see the ocean, and did this again just before his ceremony. The start of his apprenticeship was rocky. When he expressed that he hoped his mother saw his apprentice ceremony, he overheard Ermine Stone say that she probably wasn't. They argued, and Cinnamon Paw told him that if Fringe wasn't looking out for him, there was no chance Ermine Stone's mother was looking out for him either. The 2 cats have not made up well since this argument. He was then scolded by Birdstar when he would not focus on gathering moss with Bittern Puddle. Time will tell how he finds his place among his adopted clan. Shinekit was born alongside his siblings during Leaf Bear. Early on, Primrose Fox eyed him off as potential Medicine Cat apprentice material due to his talent in remembering herbs. At 4 moons old, he developed a milder case of green cough. While his life did not appear to be in danger, it took 2 moons to fully recover, while in the medicine den, his fate was sealed along his path of a medicine cat, and he was apprenticed to Houndhusk when he recovered from sickness. A particular note was that while sick in the medicine den, he overheard Billowkit talking about cats she would like as a future mate, and he was upset because she didn't name him among them. I think Shinepaw's design is probably my favourite one out of all the ones that I've drawn today. Rabbit Kit was born alongside his siblings into the clan. He came down with green cough at 3 moons old and didn't fully recover until 2 moons had passed. When he was apprenticed, he was assigned to Ermine Stone. He is a highly competitive kitten and an avid play fighter. One of Rabbit Paw's defining characteristics is a mask on his face, but I was looking at reference photos for this and I couldn't seem to find any full mask looking trait with a tabby coat, which he also has. When I came across a charcoal face pattern, like a charcoal mask, and I thought that looked perfect, so I tried making it look a bit more like that. Petalkit was the only she-kit of Sharpbellow and Houndhusk's first litter. She is shameless and loves to climb anything she can get her paws on. When she was apprenticed, she was given to Howlbillow to mentor. Honeykit was the last born of his siblings. He's also the wisest and is particularly interested in clan history. When he became an apprentice, he was given to Hopswipe to mentor. Honeypaw's coat pattern is pretty much an exact copy of his mother's Sharpbellow, so I tried my best to make his face look a little bit more like hers as well, like he's a little mini-me. Billowkit was born to Locust and was found by Houndhusk with her siblings after Locust died during childbirth. With the help of Inkpuddle and Scorchheart, Sharpbellow is currently caring for them. She is a fearless kitten, and although interested in herbs, wants nothing more than to serve her clan in battle. Branchkit is the second of the orphaned kits that were found. He is a charming kitten that is oddly observant, and Meadowkit is the youngest of the 3 kits that Houndhusk found. She is charming and quick to make peace. Neither her nor her siblings are aware that they are not the kits of Sharpbellow and Houndhusk, as they were not told about their tragic origin. They are 4 moons old at the end of the year. My partner told me as I was drawing these that I made them look so squishy, and I was like, well yeah, they're kits. They're meant to be cute and fluffy and squishy. I decided to put Billowkit in the middle of the 2 kits, so Meadowkit's the one at the back and Branchkit is the one at the front, just to break up their colours a little bit since Billowkit has a difference. There's also white paws and stuff that are kind of hidden within the poses that I've put them in, but you'll see them when they grow up. Bluebell Fur was a Shore Clan cat who was exiled for bearing kits with a rogue. She was found by Houndhusk and Shinepaw bleeding and scared for her life after narrowly escaping a wolf. She was desperately trying to keep her newborns quiet, but their squeaks brought the medicine cats to her rescue instead. She was recovering from her wounds and birth in the medicine den and is suckling also Stagkit. Her first kit was named Lyrekit, a she-kit, white with brown patches, and her second kit was named Pheasantkit, a little black tom. Stagkit was found by, again, Inkpuddle and Scorchheart at the end of the year, newborn and abandoned. His mother, Fern, is deceased and a kitty pet. He is currently being cared for in the nursery. universe basically has 3 clans. One is Spiralclan, one is Clan, and one is Clan. Generally, Spiralclan has had the best relationships so far with Clan, but they don't get along with Clan. Tiny newborns are so difficult to draw, they look like aliens. In any case, this is the end of Spiralclan's second year. Thank you everyone for the positive comments you gave me on my previous video, they made me very excited to make another. Tune in for next year in the coming weeks, and prepare for the Year of Blood.